The German soldiers, who hadn't seen a woman in 4 years, couldn't suppress the stirrings inside them and kissed the woman on the poster. To calm their inner heat, they decided to go take a bath in the river. Just then, 3 French women walked by, and the soldiers could hardly believe their eyes. Excited, they waved and shouted, trying to catch their attention. However, the French women ignored them. Just as they were about to leave, one of the soldiers quickly pulled out some long-kept bread and sausages, successfully catching their attention. Since the war began, they hadn't had bread for 4 years. They used broken German to tell the soldiers to bring the bread and sausages to their house that evening. The soldiers were ecstatic and couldn't wait to go. However, they faced a new problem. There were only 3 women but 4 soldiers, and no one wanted to miss out on the date. So the old soldier cleverly got a new recruit drunk, and under the cover of night, secretly swam across the river to deliver the bread and cheese to the women. The women hadn't had bread in 4 years, and now they devoured it hungrily. After eating and drinking, they kept their promise and thanked the soldiers. After a brief rest, the battle began again. The French army started bombing the town where the German soldiers were stationed. In the chaos, Paul was hit by a grenade, and the old soldier, Ross, quickly dragged him to safety. After the bombing, Paul was put on a train and sent back to the rear camp to recover. His comrades envied him because the non-lethal injury not only took him away from the brutal front lines, but also meant he could rest for half a month once he healed. Paul was sent to a field hospital, and after some time, he quickly recovered. The absurdity and cruelty of war caused Paul's initial fascination with it to turn into disillusionment, so he decided to go see his family. However, his father completely misunderstood the horrors of war and only bragged to the neighbors, saying, "My son is a war hero." Eventually, Paul decided to cut his leave short and return to the front lines to continue fighting. One day, while delivering supplies with Ross, they encountered a French airstrike. Ross was injured in the leg. Paul immediately carried him to the field hospital, but when he laid him down, he discovered that Ross had been shot in the back and was no longer breathing. From that moment on, Paul's mindset changed. He began to loathe and even hate the war. One day, Paul sat alone in the trench when a little bird flew by. He quickly took out some paper and a pen, hoping to capture this beautiful moment. Just as he was lost in his drawing, he suddenly heard the sound of a gunshot. Paul collapsed in the trench. In the world of war, however, an individual's life is insignificant. On that day, the report from the front command only had 5 short words: all quiet on the Western Front.